tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation has, which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions are going to be affected.
Why does she do her head like that?
You see what's happening. You see in Colorado, they are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military, they give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit, but I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So, Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. Is that it just, we'll try to lower taxes.
You know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued there'll be higher prices on gas.
It was hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country because I've never had cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy. You mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is
in American history. Then the last administration would be great for women
And enjoy the watch party with me. I'm definitely watching the 2024 presidential debate. For those of you that are into that, politics that is, definitely want to tune in right now.
Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the people to vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote is somewhat liberal. Kansas, it's the vote of the people. Now, it's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is illegal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe, and now which make it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime, a violation to their body, does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not know what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country, women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage. The freedom to make decisions about one's own body should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not saying, and there's no reason to sign a ban because what he wanted, Democrats, Republicans,
Another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs, barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make. America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris.
excuse me, I have to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader month, the 9th month, and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia, and then we determine what we want to do with the ban.
President Trump. Thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigrant crossings reached a record high in the
Organizations for the trafficking of guns, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security which I supported. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe
Not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here, you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on
Let
television.
me just say here, this is
The people on television say
Mr.
my dog was taken and used for food, so maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people on
I'm taking it from
television
the
say
city
the
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.